What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave B. You watching DaveBeyondTV, where we go beyond the everyday bullshit that people be consuming on a day-to-day basis. And today we bringing down some more energies, you know what I'm saying? The moon shifting into Libra. So, you know what I'm saying? Libra is a sign of relationships. It's a sign of, compromise, balance, harmony. And we got that in the, we got that. So that's what the moon is. That's what we're reacting to, relationships and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Relating aspects of ourselves, what we're going to be relating or how it's going to look is spiritual. It's going to look like Sagittarius. It's going to look like fire that's a little mutable. So, you know, this is the this is an energy that goes hand in hand with everything that's been setting up, man. It's funny because I had a post talking about Capricorn season approaching, and somebody was like, "Oh, chill, bro, because we ain't even halfway through Sag." And it's like crazy because when you really do be in the energies, you just, like I say, everything is progression. So everything builds on one another. And I put that post out just to kind of give y'all a little foresight, because what we're doing now, you know, this is the energy, this is the area. I feel like this is the space, the season that people fuck up low key the most, just simply because it's kind of like the summertime. It feels like the summertime, but it's in the winter. You know what I'm saying? It's like when we hit Sagittarius season, the energy itself make you feel real giddy, and it make you feel, you know, again, inspired. It make you feel excited. But the issue is we're going into a season right afterwards that lacks fire. And so what happens is, if you don't utilize this time to put inspiration and passion into the right things, it's going to be a hard season when the winter comes, because you're not going to have that internal warmth, aka that inspiration to kind of push through, or that vision to see through everything that's dying around you. And without that direction, that's one of the energies that we lack during the winter time. We lack vision, we lack direction. A lot of times we lack warmth, we lack inspiration sometimes, just based upon the energies that we're dealing with, because we go through Capricorn and then Aquarius and then Pisces. Those are all energies, those are energies that kind of slow you down. Again, they deal with death. And so it's a lot more intellectual, and it's a lot more about building status and what you can connect to. But at the same time, we lack fire. So we might lack that little spark that we need, that keeps us rolling and keep us going. Every season you missing something. Like in the fall season, we missing out on Earth. So a lot of things that we got practically going on, again, that's the mistake that we could potentially make in the summertime. Because once we hit that Virgo, right, we analyzing everything, but we might be a little more aware of what we finna go into the fall season without, you know what I'm saying? Just because that Virgo energy put your mind on details and things of that nature. But even Virgo energy gets distracted a lot of times, and you make mistakes in that area going into the fall season based upon you not really, you might have your mind on the wrong shit. So everything that you're trying to build for yourself or you're working on isn't anything that's actually productive. It's just something that's consuming your reality at the moment. You know, I feel like, the sixth house gets distracted just like any other sign, you know, or any other house, or the Virgo energy gets distracted just like any other energy. And, that's one thing we have to keep in mind, just because of energy. It's like a lot of times we'll be going through a season and you want to maybe pinpoint all the positive things of that energy, but don't forget about the bad sides of that energy, the areas or the ways in which that energy can get you kind of fucked up, you know what I'm saying, or can throw you off for the next thing coming up. And a lot of times it's just the transition from one season to another one. We're experiencing an energy we're finna go without. So if you don't make the proper adjustments and preparation, you'll be struggling a little bit during that next season. So again, if your Virgo energies ain't on point and you ain't doing what Virgo needs you to do, and you didn't even plant good seeds that led up to Virgo to make it an easy transition going into the fall, you're going to struggle with that element. Same thing again, fall going into winter. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're not going to have the inspiration to carry you through the winter. And then during the winter, going into the summer, if you didn't do what you were supposed to do, right? The summertime, we all lack, water. So if you don't do the Pisces energy correctly, you're not going to have the right dream, imagination, or things to care about, or things to connect to, or you wouldn't have created anything others want to be connected to. So when you start to go on your Aries energy and your Taurus energy and your Gemini energy, nobody really going to be around, and you might have to do that shit from scratch. You're going to be without that emotional connection. And if you didn't build a dream or an imagination for yourself, you might lack the creativity to even spark something that's intriguing enough to connect to others. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then last but not least, you know, Gemini going into the summertime, if you didn't communicate, make enough connections and relations, ain't nobody gonna care to see you shine. Because look, you're gonna lack the air. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna lack the air. So you're gonna go into a time where if you didn't make the connections previously, if you didn't let people know what you was into before, they might not care to pay attention now. And you might lack that ability to kind of get you know what I'm saying, get their attention and things of that nature, just based upon that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something to keep in mind, you know, when we talk about these energies and different things going on. You know what I'm saying? Man, yo, I'll die on this hill, bro. When niggas doing construction on roads needs to happen at night, bro. This is a 3 a.m. thing. Don't be trying to do no construction at fucking in the morning when niggas is trying to go places. I would die on that hill, bro. Like, it don't make no sense. If you doing construction on roads, do that shit at night when ain't nobody on the road. And it's not as much of an inconvenience. You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy. But, you know, for the most part, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, you know, getting back to these energies, though. So, like, you know, again, that's why we talk. You know what I'm saying? That's why we always 10 steps ahead. When you really tap into the energy, and it's not about getting too ahead of yourself, you know, to the point where you're doing the most, but it's about, you know, peeping game and being able to, you know, just be wise about what you're experiencing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it comes down to, too. It's about being wise and knowing how to set yourself up. That's what astrology for. It's helping you with a blueprint, or giving you an insight on, you know, what's going on when. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, a lot of people get lost in that shit, but it's really a matter of just, you know, first and foremost is for knowing yourself. But then after you get to know yourself and you develop that awareness, then it's about how you want to operate and move within the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like the daily news. You know what I'm saying? It gives you everything you need to know, so you know, okay, this is how I need to maneuver. This is what I don't need to be too consumed by. Speaking of that, you know, talking about this energy. So, like I was saying, Moon in Libra, right? We're dealing with relating. Now we're coming off of that square, so there should have been certain changes that you peep, or things you realize that you need to change up when the moon was in Virgo. So now this is an opportunity to initiate a new way to relate, what you now know better or are more wise on. So if you been planting the right seeds, you're going to be wise enough to initiate a new way to relate or communicate with people around you, people you're relating to, or with the things you a new way to relate the things you already are into. If you've been into the right things, then this will look like you finding a more sophisticated or intelligent or educated way to convey spiritual ideas, your visions, and things of that nature. The moon sextile Mars, so opportunities for your passions to be supported, for your passions to come off relatable. You know what I'm saying? It's the moon and Mars. You know what I'm saying? This could also be opportunities to kind of get into maybe spiritual debates, but these two energies in general aren't really like negative signs. You know what I'm saying? Sagittarius has a pretty positive disposition for the most part. I mean, they could be assholes at times and stuff like that. And like, you know, again, I don't want to generalize the energy, because there's some very nice Sagittarius energies, and these are just energies. But the disposition of Sagittarius isn't one to care too much about, you know, somebody's feelings. They're more on the blunt side as far as the energy. But for the most part, it's not an energy that seeks to do harm. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times that Jupiterian energy wants to give grace. It's just sometimes it ain't got the patience for it. So it can come off a little, you know, it's just like they mean well, you know, sometimes, most of the time. And then Libra energy, you already know that's the energy of being more compassionate, trying to be balanced, trying to be more on the side of or more in the energy or space of being relatable or harmonious, you know what I'm saying? So they're not really looking to create too much static either. So when you look at this energy combination, this is an opportunity to kind of get into more lighthearted debates, possibly, you know what I'm saying? Relate spirituality, you know what I'm saying? Even though spirituality can be a tough topic, this would be a time where people might be more receptive to hear perspectives other than their own, which is beneficial, especially if you're in a situation where you see that being a positive thing to use at the moment, you know what I'm saying? Because you might be in a situation where you and a person been butting heads and you've been trying to convey a certain idea or point, and it just ain't been the time. But right now, there'll be some relatable energy in the sky for you to be able to relate that in a way that they might be in a space to kind of receive it a little bit better. But nothing is promised, so that ain't even no guarantee. I'm just saying that as a potential possibility, just due to the energy we got going on. People might be a little more receptive to hearing somebody else's perspective. Now, the moon is also going to be opposite Chiron. So we're feeling opposite to mistakes, you know what I'm saying? So this could be you being a little more optimistic about things that you used to make mistakes in, finding a better way to even relate to yourself based upon you accepting that, hey, I've made some mistakes, but look at where I am now. And so there might be there's an opportunity for you to kind of be in a more positive state of being when you're looking at mistakes. Or this could be you kind of maybe even, I don't really get the vibe that is worried about mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I don't get the vibe that you're worried that, some people might be, but it doesn't come off as the energy that makes you worry about mistakes. It's more so just you feeling opposite to those. So you don't want to make mistakes anymore, or you having a new relationship with yourself that allows you to look at these mistakes and maybe even learn from them, look at them and be like, oh, damn, okay, that's where I was imbalanced. And that's where now I can kind of change things up and have a new way of going about things, that isn't so consumed or isn't so, bogged down by what I may have not known back then. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we make mistakes just not knowing better. Even if we knew better, we didn't know to that extent that was going to be the result. And now we see God then showed us, oh, damn, I do know better. And we decide to do better, or you decide to repeat the mistake. So, but being that the moon is opposite, is you feeling uncomfortable enough with the mistake to be like, yeah, I do need to change that. That do need to kind of get switched up and things of that nature. The moon is also going to be opposite the North Node, so feeling opposite to your spiritual path. So this would be an energy where, again, you might not feel like going for your spiritual path, or you might want to kind of take a break. This might be an energy you do want to kind of indulge in pleasures. And that, I made that other post too about Venus going into Scorpio, and to be careful. Like, that Scorpio energy can consume you real quick, and it's sextile in Pluto on the later end of the energy. So that in and of itself is an indicator that and it's going to go into Aquarius eventually, but if we're not careful, there could be certain things that we're taking as an opportunity that we don't really see that, hey, that is taking more power and control over us than we are of it. And that thing is going to come in the form of a desire or a pleasure. So there might be something right now that you're looking at right now when you're starting to lick your lips. You're like, yo, I think I want that. You know what I'm saying? You start to look at certain things. Venus already in Scorpio, so you start to get those ideas. It's like, oh, damn, I like that. I like that, to the point where you might start to pick up traits of being obsessive about certain things and wanting certain pleasures more than usual. And it'll come in a very subtle level, because it could be simply as you just eating more, right? But you think is you eating more just because you hungry, but it's like, no, on some low-key level, you're eating more, and you're getting more pleasure out of it. It's like you're more so eating because you're getting more pleasure out of it. It's like the food just tastes better all of a sudden. So now you want to get more of it, and you're doing it more frequently. So you might not even realize that this is low-key being triggered by a desire rather than you genuinely being hungry. You know what I'm saying? And this is just an analogy. It could be in many different forms. This could be anything that's giving you pleasure. You might even be at a job, or say you got Venus, say you got Scorpio in the 6th house, and Venus passing through there. It could be a job, and you making money, but you don't realize that money you're making is tied to you just desiring it, and it's kind of burning you out on the low. You know what I'm saying? So you being obsessed with work, and it might look positive because you're making a lot of money, so it feel good, feel like something you should overindulge in. And that's just that thing, because Venus falls there, or Venus, I don't know if it's actually fall, but Venus don't like to be there. Venus can go a little too far with its desires and its wants, and we need to be able to put enough power and control in between our desires and our spirit to be able to make a more intelligent decision on what we need to be spending our time on. And that's where Pluto and Capricorn is. It's like taking power and control over our time. That's what we really should have been learning how to do when Pluto's been traveling through that energy. As it goes into Aquarius, it's taking power and control now over you know, our ability to relate or associate, basically. And you know, so you know, and we're gonna get deeper into that, because that's an energy in and of itself. That's a video on its own, talking about kind of that transition from Pluto and Capricorn to Pluto and Aquarius. Because remember, a lot of that Aquarius energy, community building and all those different things, meeting up with your soul tribe and things of that nature, being able to collaborate, also being the authority in those spaces. And when I say the authority, I don't mean you're the boss over other people. It's that you're so established in your own self, and knowing your own self, and you're strong in your own self. You constructed a self for a strong disposition for yourself, a strong character for yourself, that you move with ease in these communities, and you're able to get respected based upon what you put in the work to do. You know what I'm saying? This is like a community, but it's not about one person working to be the boss of everybody. It's about this person just built themselves up in a way that made them strong. So now when they're around other strong, like-minded individuals, a lot more can get done, and they're respected in that space, and they're able to build with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? Rather than somebody who may have slacked up, or maybe didn't build a sufficient status for themselves. So when they do get into these communities, they might have to take a back seat. You know what I'm saying? First, they might have to sit back and watch. They may have to be more on the listening end. They might have to wait for, you know what I'm saying, quiet. The bosses are talking, you know what I'm saying? So they might have to sit to the side and wait for the discussion to be had before they can have a 2 cents or an opinion on what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, you know, yeah, that's just how it be sometimes. Like, and it comes from the Aquarian idea that, you know, everybody got a role to play. So it's not about you getting in your feelings. It's about you understanding, hey, I got a role to play. And you play that role the best of your ability. And it's not to say that you're subject to be that role forever. If you got the right mindset, you know how to traverse and build, you know what I'm saying, and get to new levels within that. But, you know, can't deny that there's levels to this shit, not to be on some ego shit. And that's why it's like you got to be on the opposite end of that Leo energy. It's like Aquarius, we're here to carry out a mission. We're like-minded, we're trying to build, we're moving. And you have a position to play based upon who you are as a unique individual. So if it's done properly, it's supposed to be like a constellation rather than a pyramid. You know, when a pyramid, people feel like they're subservient or less than. In a constellation, people feel like they just occupying their space. And that's really how it should be. You know, all that pyramid shit is just a mind witchcraft that they don't put on people to want to do, you know, do more and kind of waste their time trying to get to a position they'll never get to. You know, it's like selling you a dream. You know, you could be CEO one day, but you'll never be in that room. The CEO always going to make sure that the CEOs and what they want in power is going to stay in power. Same thing the way America's ran. You know what I'm saying? That's why it don't make no sense to vote. We going into election season, and we got a lot of Pluto energy going on, so we already know it's about to be some fuck shit coming up. So, but again, you know what I'm saying? That's why what we voting for. You know what I'm saying? They just want to see who we like more, so that they can make their witchcraft or their systems and things of that nature go smoother when they put whoever in power. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to see what people are reacting to and play on that. You know, it's all a play. It's all a witchcraft, you know, but we're not going to get too deep into that. Back to the moon energy. Moon is going to be in conjunct Uranus. So again, in all this relatable energy, you might still misunderstand what it means to be an individual. You might misunderstand what individuality or what thing you're trying to build on to, you know, make that solidified in reality. You also it's an in conjunct with Jupiter. So moon in conjunct Jupiter, you might not feel, or you misunderstand how to connect to your experiences at the moment. So right now, again, you might feel more like taking the easier route. this is an energy that can kind of stir up some laziness. You know, you want to, you know, experience harmony, and you want to do it in the Sagittarius like way, which might looks like a little bit like escapism, or a little bit like letting up on certain responsibilities that we had, and maybe leaning into what we like and what's attractive to us at the moment without any long-term intention to kind of keep it going. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the Sagittarius energy. That's why they kind of got that flighty type energy. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like they are attracted to what then caught their attention, but once that attention is gone, and you got to think about it, it's mutable fire. So it's not even fixed. It's like fleeting. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little fleeting. The fire on top of the fixed flame. You know what I'm saying? So it might not stick around to see the full repercussions of what it invested itself in. And you got to be aware of that. You got to make sure you're not putting yourself in any situation that you're not looking to uphold, because, you know, even energies that we going into further on down the line are going to be ones that's more predicated upon what you're trying to establish for yourself. Capricorn, even though it's a cardinal energy, is going to be sparking new things that we are intending to maintain eventually. And we're going to have to learn how to associate with these things, and we're going to have to uphold them on a mental level so that they can last us throughout the winter. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be kind of like the winter phases: Capricorn season, Aquarius season, and Pisces season. That's when it becomes a dream for everybody to connect to, or again, and things that putting depth to it so it can transform. But, you know, how you living is how you living. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is necessarily building something or focusing on something like that. You know, that's one thing I try to make sure I leave room and space for, because, you know, you might be somebody who not living that kind of life, not building something. Instead, you're kind of, you know, you're just going through life and trying to maneuver through relationships or something like that. Maneuver through, you know, struggles with finances and things. You know, that's a lot of times what people be going through, you know what I'm saying? Struggles like that. So even if you're in that space and there might not be something you're trying to build, you're probably in a space of trying to get yourself together. And low-key, you are still building, because you're building a reality for yourself, because we all in some shit. You know, being down here, it's like nobody has it all together. Even people who have more of what they want than not, even they are in a position to where they gotta, you know, work to keep it, maintain it. And there's times in which they have less of what they want at the moment, or less of what they need at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So we all kind of going through that. And that's why, you know, even still, these videos are essential. You know what I'm saying? Because we all going through life, experiencing different things that throw us through loops. It's just about how to think sufficiently through them all. You know, the moon is going to be, let me see, it's next to that. Yeah, what sextile in Mars, talked about that. Yeah, let me see, Aries, we talked about, oh yeah, Pisces. So the moon is also going to be in conjunct Neptune. So misunderstanding how to connect to our dream. Again, right now, we might have had a lot, like right here is a lot of creative energy, but you might not know how to use that creative energy for your dream. You know what I'm saying? It's creative energy. It's beautiful energy for anybody who makes art. You know what I'm saying? Because you got that Libra aspect, and then you have the broad sense of Sagittarius that can kind of give it a worldly feel. It's worldly and sophisticated now. You know what I'm saying? It's like that Sag Libra combination. But this could also be a misdirected energy. You could get very lazy or distracted by what's shiny at the moment, or if you have a yearning for trying to create something, say you've been trying to create something and you've been kind of in a space of trying to force something out of you, you might be distracted. It might not come out as clear. You might think you want to do this and then switch up and try to do another thing, thinking that's going to fulfill you. And you kind of got to chill out, take a step back, and, you know, make a proper decision based upon, what you're interested at the moment, you know, and try not to make it something, you know, try not to get too consumed by a desire to just put something out so you can get attention and be seen. You feel me? Because that's the thing. A lot of times this energy too can low-key, you just be trying to put something out to be seen. You know, and depending on what kind of houses you got and what kind of other energies, like, you know, you might have energies that just want you to, especially if you've been planting bad seeds, this type of energy, like sometimes Sagittarius is getting that form. They still a fire sign, so they might act out for attention or escape something to be seen a certain way, trying to avoid being seen another way. So that kind of looks attention seeking on the low. You know what I'm saying? When like that be the Sagittarius that's always trying to make a joke out of a serious situation, when it's like, yo, like it's okay to be serious or impacted by something. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be going through something. So they might, oh, I'm good, you know what I'm saying, play the clown role for the sake of trying to look the part and things of that nature. So this is the type of energy that's another way we can make mistakes. Again, we have the sun trine Chiron and things of that nature. We could be making mistakes in that way. We feel the pressure of us bullshitting the last few months and stuff like that. We feel a little behind, so we might act out or escape a form, trying to make it seem like we are good and we unaffected. But that's what I was saying about the cap season coming up, and why right now it's important to peep game so that you can adjust and modify yourself to get things going for you. Because see, now we was in the first decan of Sag, now we in the second decan, right? Second decan of Sag is the undertone of Aries going into the next fire sign. So Aries, so we're supposed to be sparking new things right now. We're supposed to kind of be a little more courageous, a little more aggressive, and a little more passionate about what it is that we are traveling on, like what we expanding on. So we need to be more aggressive with our expansion. We have to put ourselves in harm's way. Not really, but put yourself in the heat. Put yourself in the fire. That's the Aries energy. Jump in, spark that shit. We have to put ourselves into whatever it is that we are learning. You're not going to learn as much as you can from it if you're not putting yourself in the middle of it, initiating a new experience through, you know what I'm saying, through that Mars energy, kind of being more aggressive about what it is we're trying to experience. And within that experience, being the leader of the pack, aka not fearing what may or may not go right or wrong in that area. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that we're trying to experience, we need to really embody that shit. That's like high key what we need to be doing at the moment in the second decan, so that when the third decan comes and we hit the the Leo undertone, it'll be a fixed inspiration. We will be the guru in that space because we went through the experience, we went through the fire, we went through the fight, we went to war on everything in that space, and now we are established. That character that we have etched out looks wise. It looks like something that's educated and knows what it's talking about. It's not able to be easily rocked out of its position, and that leans into Capricorn, aka being the boss in that space or into the next space. But wisdom that you had from the previous space then established you a strong foundation in this new space. So any blueprint you come up with is going to have the right schematics, measurements, and everything that makes not only you feel confident in it, but other people who are around you, who are potential resources for you, people, places, and things, to look more attractive to those things. So it don't come off like you just coming around being bossy and you're not respected, so you have to use fear. It's going to be people want to fuck with you. People respect you because of what inspiration that you then instilled in them. So anything you ask them to do, and I'm using people as an example, but, you know, don't be using people too much, you know what I'm saying? But people, places, and things, because it's going to be coming in the form of money. Money is going to seem like it wants to work for you. You know what I'm saying? The investments you put your money in is going to look like a resource that recuperates tenfold. It's like people, places, and things. You play the place you at, the home you in, gonna seem like the perfect spot to get certain work done, to make certain things triple and quadruple in resource, like all these different things. I mean, all the way down to your home, your bed being more restful, and you being able to get up and make more money based upon you having more rest, because your bed just feel that much better for you. And that's all based upon what we do now. And it might sound like goofy to a person who's not privy to the energies and don't take this shit as serious, but this shit really be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can laugh if you want, but this shit real. It'd be a small little switch you make with your mind to start seeing things in a different way, and then voila, you see different things in life manifesting for yourself. And those are just opportunities. But you have to, at the same time, make sure you have the ability, the skills that you've worked on to take advantage of those opportunities. You know what I'm saying? That's why the abundance mind state makes sense, because it's like you have an abundance of opportunities. It's just you have to, at the same time, build up your skills to be able to take, or your abilities to be able to take advantage of those things. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So that was we talk about Pisces, yeah, moon in conjunct Neptune. So misunderstanding, maybe some illusions that we might be in. Again, you might want to chill, kick back, and this not the time for that. Just because you can't quite understand your dream at the moment and how to relate it. But you need to figure that out, connect to it, and figure out how to relate it in a wise way. You know what I'm saying? And then like high key, we got the sun in the day side of Jupiter. So a lot of what's going on in our Pisces house, we need to be learning how to express it and expand in that area. This is actually a strong opportunity to get your dreams built, because through the day side of Jupiter, Sagittarius, you could take what's in Pisces, Saturn, and Neptune, and express it a lot easier than we may have been able to in the previous energies. You know what I'm saying? Or at least what'll happen is, actually, no, it's not gonna be easier to express it, but we have the opportunity to learn a better way to go about expressing it that allows us to be a little more expressive or outward with our internal world, and looking like Saturn and Neptune. So that's our creativity being built in reality. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to express some of those dreams that we're trying to work on, being able to express that imagination that seemed very vast and things of that nature that we might just keep to ourselves. But here's a little window that we can learn and build some esoteric strength in our spirit to be able to express those things, you know what I'm saying, and in a sufficient manner. And even if people still don't get it, at least we expressed it. We put it out in the world. It could grow. It's a seed that's planted. Speaking of seeds planted, yeah, we going into, so this is kind of the time before the new moon that we're supposed to be releasing certain things, you know what I'm saying? So in this new way to relate your wisdom and things of that nature, you know better now. So now it's time to start to relate better, you know, relate with yourself even better. You know different things now, so relate with yourself, establish a better relationship with yourself now as well, you know. A little self-care, you know what I'm saying, a little internal world based upon where your houses is. That'll tell you where you kind of need to use this combination of energy. Now when it comes to, let me see, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Moon, oh yeah, right next to that. So Virgo, and then we got Libra, and then we got Scorpio. Venus is that, and then we got Sagittarius, but then we got Capricorn. So we got Mercury there. So you know, the moon squaring Mercury. So we're learning how to connect to what we communicate, and in a way of making it more relatable. So what we're trying to build and construct, you know, we're figuring out a better way to relate that, you know, or we're figuring out what can provide balance and what we can work on to provide balance, basically, or what resources we might need to build on or communicate about that can help us get more balance, you know. So but for the most part, it's kind of like, it's that initiation energy. It's us learning how to kind of talk more in a relatable tone or harmonious way about what we're trying to build and construct, you know what I'm saying. Also getting more serious and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying. Your thoughts have to learn from your feelings. So you might feel like you want to relate, but we need to have our mind on more business. We need to have our mind on more what's realistic, and you know, our mind is on restrictions too. So our mind on restrictions, we're learning how to not feel so imbalanced by these different restrictions that we may be thinking about, and you know, over analyzing and things of that nature. We got Aquarius, so we got that Pluto energy too. So moon slightly squaring Pluto, kind of trining it, you know what I'm saying. So this is going to be you learning about, you know, when it comes to the way you relate, learning how to transform things that kind of enhance your status, or figuring out different ways to go about it so that you can associate yourself better, you know what I'm saying. So this is kind of like a little opportunity for you to kind of carry out those last bits of transformations that's going to take all your status that you've accumulated based upon that retrograde, and now it's going direct. But all that things, those things that you utilize to polish your status, figuring out, learning how to make it a little more relatable so that you have the gift to associate, but in a relatable way. You know what I'm saying? So you know how to operate that social arena in a business-like way, but you also make it relatable and make people feel comfortable and balanced. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's all, folks, you know, for the most part. So, yep. We closing out the Each One Teach One sign up. Thank you for everybody who came through, show interest. If you still in between, like you already reached out to us and you still trying to get in the classes, let me know. Also, if you're interested and you just want to know when the next one will be, you want to be on the, you know, like the first person that gets a notification when we get the next class popping, you know, let me know. You can always email me at 717conference.info@gmail.com, and or, you know, message me on IG or Twitter, DaveBeyondTV, or leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? All, you know, all forms of communication. We'll figure it out. You know, let me know, and we'll put you on that list. You know, I'm gonna be releasing the last 2 semesters soon, and then what else we got going on? Yeah, we finna send out a lot of new notifications. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna talk too much about it in this video, but be on the lookout on the IG page. We dropping some new stuff. We trying to get things in motion and set up for the springtime. You know, we already working on the springtime, so you know how that thing go. You know, for the next event, you know what I'm saying, we doing more things in person, we pushing the envelope, all that good shit, you know what I'm saying, pushing the whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, much love, catch you on the next one. Peace.